everyone, welcome back to the Glass Seeds podcast. This is our show where two hockey aficionados discuss their perspectives on headlines surrounding the NHL, including recent stories, game highlights, league culture, and other topics trending amongst the fans. This is Viddy.
My name is Mrinal, and this week in hockey, it is peak off-season, baby.
Yes, sir.
We are talking signings, we're talking trades, we're talking NHL Draft. Players are on the moves, GMs are on the phone, and we want to talk about it.
Yes, sir.
Shall we start with the NHL Draft?
Yeah, let's do it.
So that was a big thing that happened this week. There were a bunch of trades and signings that we're going to get to later as well. We're going to talk about Dubois, Meyer, Barbashev later in the show. But let's start with the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to limit our conversation, for the top 10 picks. I think that's where all the drama was.
Mm-hmm.
No surprise, first overall, Connor Bedard.
I'm pretty surprised by this. I honestly thought, no, I'm kidding. Of course,
Yeah.
everyone knew this. Like, this was pretty evident right off the bat. As soon as the draft lottery was announced, the entire city, Chicago, knew. The entire NHL world knew. Connor Bedard to Chicago.
And that is their second generational talent in about 15 years.
It's not fair, man.
Yeah.
One dips and there's not even a full off season. And okay, whatever. All right. Yeah.
Hey, there's every chance that Patrick Kane could come back in the offseason. He's a free agent.
Yeah, but why would he?
I don't know, mentor.
I guess, yeah, but
Unless, he's not cup chasing. I hope he's got 3.
yeah, and he's also, but the problem is he also had that surgery. He's gonna be out in the beginning of this. Actually, you know what? Chicago makes sense now.
Yeah.
Dang, I just convinced myself. Yep. All right. Yep. That's the way.
That's going to be a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
Bedard is going to probably tear up this league. We're talking, for those of you not familiar with prospects in the NHL, we're talking this is McDavid, Crosby level talent.
Yeah, generational talent for sure.
So McDavid, Crosby, Kane, I think are the comparables the past 3 years. McDavid and Crosby more so because they're centers. Kane was a wing, but yeah.
Yeah.
Pick number 2 was Anaheim's, and the drama already started.
Yeah.
The consensus second overall pick was Adam Fantilli, but Anaheim picked Leo Carlsson out of Sweden. Both are centers. I think the general consensus is Fantilli's better right now, but Carlsson might have a higher ceiling. It's just a matter of if he actually reaches that ceiling. But either way, this is a stud, and as a Sharks fan, this is a stud we're going to have to go up against a lot.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you're Columbus and you picked up Adam Fantilli, if you're the fan base of if you're a Blue Jackets fan, you shouldn't be upset by this by any means.
Absolutely not.
Leo Carlsson was also a great pick, but I mean, come on. You were going to not win, but like you were going to get a good pick either way.
Yeah, I mean, out of the lottery picks, so the top 2 and then Columbus afterward, only Anaheim had to actually make a pick, right?
Yes.
Chicago was going to take Bedard.
Yes.
Anaheim had to pick between Carlsson and Fantilli, and Columbus took whichever one they didn't take.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, for a top 3, like, in a weird way, they all won. Obviously, Chicago won, but,
Yeah, and just so we can get an idea of, like, the talent we're talking about, in any other year, like, even if you take last year, I think any one of these 3 would have gone first overall. So we're talking really, really good players based on what scouting and the reporters have told us.
Yeah.
Right? This is supposed to be a really, really good draft.
Yeah.
So that kind of wraps up the top 3. Already we got a switch, right?
Yes.
So now we're going to the rest of this draft. And this is kind of where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
So there is this talent out in the KHL by the name of Matvei Michkov, who is rumored to be as good, if not better, than Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Where this rumor comes from is he is smashing Ovechkin's KHL records as a teenager. KHL being the league out in Russia. He's also scoring better at that league than Nikita Kucherov. So this is top tier talent.
Yes.
The catch being he's Russian and he has a contract in the KHL for the next 3 years.
Yes.
Which means he won't be able to come over to your team right away.
Yes.
So this comes down to the 4th overall pick where there's going to be a debate with the San Jose Sharks if they take this dynamic Russian talent or they take their other top prospect or top pick they wanted, Will Smith. And they ended up taking Will Smith, who is a center, and will be coming to San Jose. Probably not going to play in the NHL this year, but maybe next year. What are you thinking? The Fresh Prince is in San Jose.
Right. I honestly thought they were going to take Michkov. To be completely honest, I really thought San Jose was going to take him. So I'm not. I mean, I am definitely a little bit surprised, but it sucks the way the world is right now. But it is definitely something to be concerned about.
I mean, regardless of like the global situation, he's signed a contract.
Yeah.
So he legally cannot come over.
Yeah.
For the 3 years anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't think San Jose expect him to be good in 3 years, are they?
No, definitely not. And at that point, Will Smith almost makes more sense. Let him develop. And it's not like San Jose. San Jose's got a lot of studs in the making right now, I guess you could say. And so the thing that really confuses me about this is Mishkov didn't go 5th. He didn't go 6th either. He dropped all the way down to 7th.
All the way to 7th. The picks in between, Montreal took David Reinbacher, defenseman. Arizona took a different Russian, Dmitry Simashev, who also has a 2-year contract in the KHL.
Yeah.
If you were going to take a Russian, why would you not take potential future Alex Ovechkin?
I question everything Arizona does and stands for at this point. This is why they're losing a team. Sorry, Coyotes fans, but
See, this is what happens in the deep draft, right? Like people get really honed in on their guy. Like I could totally see Montreal being like, "Oh, someone's going to take Michkov. Don't even think about it."
Yeah.
So we're just going to focus on our guy, and they took Reinbacher. Which also feels like maybe they expected San Jose to take Michkov, and they wanted Smith. And then San Jose took Smith, so then they're like, "Oh, who's the next name? Is Reinbacher on their list?"
Yeah.
But
I always wonder this too. Like they're on the clock when they have to pick. Obviously, as a professional GM, you're under a lot of pressure already. But that's a lot of pressure when you're not first or second, or I guess you could say third overall too. When you're like further down in the draft, I feel like there's more pressure on you.
Yeah,
because when you're in those top 3, you kind of know what you're picking.
Yeah, it's kind of easy at that point, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's not an easy task for GMs by any means, but like, damn, I don't think anyone expected Mishkov to drop all the way to 7th. That's all.
Yeah, that is insane, and the fact that he's not the first Russian taken.
Yeah,
that's what I can't get over.
you had a bone to pick about that.
Yeah, what the hell?
I mean, like, sure, it's unfortunate, but like at the same time. Again, I don't really know where Arizona's headspace is at. I don't know if this was an intentional move. I don't know what the hell Arizona does half the time. So
is this we're not going to have an arena for 2 years, so just let them play in the KHL?
I honestly, that's exactly what I was thinking, but I couldn't put it into words. I really think that's it.
But then why would you not take Michkov? That's what I don't get.
I don't friggin' know.
Like, for any reason that you would take Simashev, unless you really wanted a defenseman. But if you're not going to have him for 2 years, does it matter what position he plays?
Also, doesn't Arizona need everything right now?
Yeah, that too.
They're not. They're as bad as not as bad as San Jose, but like they're not great.
Yeah,
in any aspect. So
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, so somebody.
That's what it boils down to. I don't know.
Please, somebody in the comments, just fucking tell us.
Coyotes fans, anyone?
Yeah, please explain.
Rounding out the draft, Ryan Leonard, right wing, goes to Washington, who is John Leonard's brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I didn't know that. Okay.
Nate Danielson, as center, goes to Detroit. He was also not projected to go this high, but don't doubt Stevie Y.
Yeah.
And then rounding out the top 10, Dalibor Dvorsky, center, goes to St. Louis.
That's an insane amount of centers in the top 10.
Yeah.
Which is, at least this year. I mean, like, the first 4 are all centers, and rounded out bottom 2 centers.
I was just thinking that, like, everybody's looking for that star franchise player. And in the NHL, when you look at like who the stars are, more often than not, they're centers.
They're centers, yep.
You know? So everyone's looking for that linchpin, that first line center.
Yeah. Is it just because it's easier to build a team around that?
I think there's 3 pieces that are the hardest to get, which is your first line center, your top pairing offensive D-men, and your top goalie. Those are the 3, those are the core of your team, and they're the 3 hardest pieces to get.
Yeah.
Nobody's drafting a goalie this early. Goalies are voodoo, right?
Well, I mean, Fleury was first overall, but
yeah, and that's weird.
Is it?
Yeah, versus someone like Lundqvist, Pekarine, all really deep picks, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing with goalies are, these kids are what, 17, 18 when they get drafted? Most goalies aren't NHL ready until 24, 25.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it takes longer to develop that reaction and that speed of the game. Like, if you put in some young 19-year-old on a 4th line and he makes some mistakes, you're kind of okay, right?
Yeah.
You can't put your 19-year-old goalie and if he makes some mistakes, he's kind of screwed, right?
Especially, like it's being goalie is also a big mental game.
Yeah, and because it's such a mental game, right? You let your 19-year-old just get shelled every night, you're gonna blow their.
What if they're never the same? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
So that's why I think they protect goalies a little bit more, and there's longer time between draft and when they play in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And with that means there's more uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to waste your high picks on
Yeah.
that. That's generally the typical school of thought.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, people like Marc-Andre Fleury are exceptions to the rule.
Right, of course.
So I wasn't expecting a goalie to go this high, but only 2 D-men.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was a mind-boggling pick from Arizona.
Yeah. I still try, again, please, someone explain to us why. But, I mean, so of this top 10, do you think, well, I think we can both say Connor Bedard's probably going to be the most outstanding of the top 10. But do you think there's a sleeper in this amongst this top 10 list? Sudden impact, I guess you could say.
If I had to pick a sleeper, I'd pick Ryan Leonard going to Washington.
Really?
He is the power forward type.
Mm-hmm.
And
with Tom Wilson?
Yeah, think Tom Wilson type.
Got it.
And I think he could really flourish in Washington's system.
Yeah.
And I think at this age, rather than being outstanding by themselves, if they can find a team that fits them, they'll really shine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ryan Leonard and Washington might be a good match.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The only other one I think might be a sleeper, and the only reason I say this is because he himself is a wizard, is Nate Danielson. And when I say he, I mean Steve Yzerman.
Oh, yeah.
Just somehow, this is, the thing is, Tampa became what they were because Stevie Y assembled that team. He kind of passed it off to Julian Brisebois.
Yeah.
And, sure, they did win their 2 cups and went on to a third finals, but that was Stevie Y's product, essentially. Somehow he just knows what to do. He's just an incredibly smart GM. Like, he was a great player, but he's also a very smart GM. Somehow I think Nate Danielson has got something up his sleeve.
Just because Stevie Y
drafted him. I don't know how. Something always, I never doubt the what's it called? The Weiser plan?
The Yzer
plan. Yeah. I just never doubt it. And, we'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on that.
Yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up for the draft here. Second round of the draft was today, but after the first kind of 10 picks, who knows, really.
Yeah.
So
if you get someone that makes a name for themselves in the second round, congrats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not common. So
Cool. I think the bigger stories we want to talk about from these past couple of days are trades and signings. Mm-hmm. So there were a bunch of trades which were very obviously cap dumps. The salary cap only went up $1 million this offseason due to COVID and all those other details. Mm-hmm. But bottom line short is there's not a lot of cap rooms.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a bunch of cap dump trades, like Riley Smith moved to Pittsburgh for a 3rd round. Ryan Johansson went to Colorado for the rights to Alex Galchenyuk. Mm-hmm. Various other trades like that. But I think the big trade is with the Los Angeles Kings and the Winnipeg Jets. So this trade, the Los Angeles Kings get center Pierre-Luc Dubois from the Jets in return for Gabe Vilardi, Kupari, and Alex Iafallo.
Yeah, crazy.
And a 2nd round pick.
Crazy.
And then upon the trade, Dubois signed an $8.5 million cap hit for 8 years contract with the Los Angeles Kings.
Mm-hmm. Is there a no movement clause or?
I will double check while you give your initial thoughts.
I mean, I was also fully bought in that he was going to be wearing red and blue and white this summer in Montreal, or not this summer, but next season.
I was about to say, you have to specify. There's a lot of red, blue, and white teams.
In Montreal this next coming up season, but. Yeah, thoroughly surprised by this, and it's definitely not a. Dubois was aware he was going to LA, and he signed this contract. So I definitely think he is excited to be in LA. I think he knows what he's doing. I don't think he's. There's always been the rumors. Oh, he's always been trying to go to Montreal. I think he knows what he's doing, and I think this is a good move ultimately. Especially with the Kings in this past playoff season, they have the speed, they have the depth, but why not hunker down on it?
Yeah, I was about to say, this is you're really solidifying LA up the middle, right? You got Anze Kopitar, Philip Deneau, Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Yeah.
That is a killer center line.
Yes.
And as Kopitar kind of gets older and maybe slows down, you can move him to wing.
Yep.
And then you're set in your top 6.
Yeah. They're going to have LA's going to have a very lethal center lineup, I guess you could say, for years to come. I think this is a great signing. I don't remember how old he is, but
Pierre-Luc Dubois is currently 25.
Yeah, crazy contract. That's 33.
Yeah, you've signed him till 33.
Yeah, and it's not even close to 10 mil. Well, it's
8.5.
8.5, yes, but like I somehow I think the cap is going to go up again at some point in those 8 years. So
yeah, I think they're projecting that the cap's going to go up big jump next year.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
You asked about the no movement clause.
Yes.
He has no clause for this season. Full no movement clause until 27-28. For 28 to 28 for the 28-29 season, he can supply a 15-team no trade list. And then for the rest of the last 2 years of the contract, he can supply a 10-team no trade list. So as he gets older, it becomes easier and easier to trade him.
Yeah.
Which lines up with the strategy I was talking about when the Knights won the Cup.
Good job,
Don't
LA.
tie yourself in.
Good job, Kings fans. You secured a solid center, and you can trade him if you need to. So
yeah, so if he gets injured or demands another trade in about 3 days,
we're kidding. We're somewhat kidding. But let's talk about also the Jets. The Jets haul. That's crazy. That's if I'm the Jets GM, I don't know how to say his last name. It's very long, but
shovel day off.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. That's a great turnaround. Alex Iafallo by himself is killer player, and I don't know. Yeah, I think this is great for the Jets, and they're in a rebuilding phase as well. Or they have mentioned that they're going to kind of blow it up. Yeah, this is a great haul for Pierre-Luc Dubois. They
just got every winger they could.
Yeah,
there's I think all three of these guys are wingers, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And they're young too. So LA very much just suddenly switched into win now mode. Up until even this offseason, this playoffs, I was thinking of LA more of as a team of the future. Like I expected them to do well. I didn't expect them to be cup contenders.
Yeah.
But when you see a team trading away youth like this, you kind of have to put them in the cup contender category, don't you?
I think LA surprised themselves. I don't think they expected themselves to be this good this fast either. But they managed to assemble the right pieces. And sure, they didn't do great in the playoffs, but I don't know. One year you get out in the first round, another year you don't make the playoffs. So suddenly you make it to the third round. Sometimes you go to the cup finals. I don't know. I think LA is building a good formula, and I think they have the ability to go farther than they think, and that's why they're going in win now mode. So
another interesting thing to note. I'm just looking at the trade here on Cap Friendly. Alex Iafallo is the only one of those three players that signed. The other two are free agents right now.
That re-signed with Winnipeg?
No, they haven't re-signed yet. So Gabe Vilardi is 23 years old, and he will be an RFA, I believe.
Oh, so they're not okay. They're not signed with Winnipeg. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So basically, they traded Dubois for signing rights to Gabe Vilardi and Rasmus Kupari, and for Alex Iafallo.
I mean, are they intending to sign him or sign those guys?
I don't know.
So okay.
Because if you're following the NHL rumor mill, there's somewhat of an exodus happening in Winnipeg. Both Connor Hellebuck and Blake Wheeler doesn't look like they're going to be Jets come the start of the season.
Yeah. Which honestly, I'm pretty excited to see how that goes. But yeah, that's why I'm just wondering. I'm like, sure, it's a good haul, but it's only a good haul if they can really keep this talent.
Yeah, so they're keeping Iafallo for sure.
Yeah,
who's 29. Vilardi and Kupari are 23, and they're both RFAs. So
yeah, I guess we'll see. Yeah, it's something to keep an eye out for sure.
Yeah, free agency's next week, so
yeah,
they're gonna get an eye.
Oh my god, you're right. Yeah, wow, July came up quick.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's actually not. I'm saying next week. It's in like 3 days.
Yeah, much quicker. That means next podcast is going to be really interesting.
Oh yeah, it's going to be all whatever happens for free agent frenzy.
Yeah,
we'll be covering next show.
All right, here we go.
Keep it tuned on Glass Seats. Couple other contracts to talk about.
Yeah,
big boy Timo Meier, $8.8 million for 8 years with the New Jersey Devils.
I'm happy for the guy, but man, I think this is an overpayment. Honestly,
you saw him play for years in San Jose.
Yes, and I can't justify giving more than 8 tops. This guy's getting paid more than PLD.
He is. I don't even think he's younger. I was about to say he's younger.
I don't think he is. I really don't think he is.
He's 26. He's older.
Yeah, that's one. And the dude is also much more inconsistent, in my opinion, than PLD. So
he also doesn't play center. Plays wing.
Yeah. I don't know. New Jersey fans, I hate to break it to you, but this may possibly bite you in the ass. So
I don't think it will.
Yeah.
Can I give you a little tidbit about the Meier contract?
Sure.
Last 3 years of his contract, 15-team no-trade list.
Mm-hmm.
He can be traded for when he sucks. If he sucks.
But that's a hefty contract to trade, though.
$8.8 million for a 30-year-old winger.
Yeah. Like, what if it's... okay,
that's not bad.
I don't know how the distribution is on that contract, but, like, let's say he's 34 and, aging fast or whatever.
Well, he's 26 right now.
Mm-hmm.
By the time his no movement clause expires, he'll be 31.
Mm-hmm.
By the time the contract expires, he'll be 34.
Okay. So they'll trade him by, like, 32. If they need to.
If they need to. If he's bad by then.
Yeah.
But there's no indication that he's going to be.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The only reason I say this is a risk is because the dude is lights out or he's disappearing act.
Yeah, there's nothing in between.
Yeah, that's the issue. So this contract might be an absolute steal or just an abomination. It's really hard to tell.
But also, if you're New Jersey, I think what you're looking for is stability right now, right? You've signed up everyone else. Nico Hischier.
That's true.
Jack Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
You got the other Hughes brother coming up your pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
And Timo Meier really rounds out your top six and gives you some size.
Yeah.
Which
we saw
in the playoffs. You need size.
Yeah. I mean, Jack Hughes is not, I guess Nico Hischier, he's not the hugest person either, but...
Yeah, but he's not the type of game Meier is.
Yeah. Yeah. Meier's an aggressive... how do I...
He's a power forward.
He is a power forward. Yeah. But, like, he can step up when needed. And I think New Jersey did get killed in the playoffs, past playoffs, because of that.
Yeah, and Meier's, not afraid to throw a face wash in there once in a while,
Yeah.
I remember seeing him play with Jumbo Joe and the two of them just being pests.
Yeah. But he can also score 5 goals a game if he needs to. Yeah. So, I don't know. Hard to tell. But we'll see how this one plays out. But moving on to the much better contract, in my opinion, also part of the golden strategy. Mm-hmm. Ivan Barbashev signs a 5x5. Insanely good deal, in my opinion. And they quickly disposed of an original Golden Knight to do it, too.
Oh, yeah. They shipped out Riley Smith to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We talked about Vegas being heartless. Like, oh, my God.
That guy is wearing an A on your chest. He was with the franchise since the beginning.
And you just won a cup.
Here's your cup. Goodbye.
They won the cup, 2 weeks ago? See ya.
Now
he's gonna go to all the cup parties and he's not part of the team next year.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's always a guy, like every cup contending team can't keep everyone.
Yeah.
But you're an alternate captain?
It's a cold world, man. It's a very cold.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Also, just to make the contract even worse, modified no trade clause for the full length of the contract for the first 3 years, 8-team no trade list.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the last 2, 5-team no trade list.
Damn.
This contract, both in value and in clause, is easier to trade than the other two.
Yeah.
And Barbashev is 27. He's only a year older than Meier.
Yeah. Man, Vegas is
magic.
Yeah, if you're a Golden Knights player, make sure you rent, first of all. But second of all, don't ever get comfortable, because even if you're a fantastic component, you could be gone the next day. But that's how Vegas. At the end of the day, Vegas fans want to see cups.
But you'll win.
Yeah, they win, and this is just continuing that legacy, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
So
really, just Riley Smith. Just here's your cup. Goodbye.
Yeah. Here's your severance package. Yeah. See you later, buddy. Hey, but he's going to Pittsburgh, and I don't think Pittsburgh is going to be as bad as people think. So.
Oh yeah.
You don't think?
I don't know. Can you guess anything about Pittsburgh? I was a big Pittsburgh fan this season.
Yeah.
But now you have a new GM. Your core is a year older, and now you have Riley Smith. You still don't have a goalie.
That's true. That is true. They're goalies.
Like I said, first line center, offensive D-man, goalie.
I think they should reunite with Fleury, just for the good old days.
Or Matt Murray.
Or not sure about that one. But I don't know. This is a great contract for Vegas, the 5x5 for Barbashev, and man, Vegas keeps doing it. It's almost infuriating at this point, but hey, they know how to win.
Vegas gonna Vegas?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
was the last one?
Award.
No, there's one. Okay, yeah. I thought there was one more signing, but
Dubois. We talked about that.
oh, okay, yeah,
All right. So, kind of to wrap it up here,
yeah.
how much of the NHL awards did you watch?
I watched none of it. I don't think I've watched any of it ever.
Ever?
No.
Well, I decided, since we have a podcast now, to watch it for the first time.
Oh, good. You committed.
I regretted it.
Please enlighten us.
It was the cringiest crap
It was in Nashville, by the way. So.
I mean, being in Nashville is fine. Nashville's a great city.
Yeah.
But it was so terribly put on.
Mm-hmm.
The jokes were terrible.
Yeah.
And whoever wrote this, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, this, it feels like a 50-year-old wrote something they thought 17-year-olds would find funny.
Yeah. How do you do, fellow kids? Like,
yeah, literally that.
Yes. Like, yeah.
I just showed you before we started recording the presentation of the Lady Bing.
Yeah.
The presentation of the Lady Bing trophy, which is for the most gentlemanly player.
Yes.
Like, oh, this player says sorry when they check someone. I'm like, okay, you're really going to make freaking Canada jokes when the majority of your audience is Canadian?
Yeah, the problem is it's a bunch of, it was like country stars everywhere, and they were like all coming out and making these like, with these like very American accents, making jokes about Canadians and stuff. I don't know.
I'm like, is that the look you want for your league?
Yeah.
Your league is majority Canadian.
Yeah. I'm like, guys, all we want are games that are not blacked out in the local region.
Should have blacked out the award show.
Should have blacked out after the award show. Dude, yeah, it was bad. It was, you only showed me 5 minutes of it, and I was like, damn, I don't think I could watch this whole thing.
Like, I mentioned this on a previous episode too, right? The thing that bothers me so much about NHL marketing is that they always market it to the casual fan.
Yeah.
They're like, someone could tune in and watch this, right? First off, your award show was on a Monday night.
I didn't know that. I didn't tune in, but yeah.
If you wanted random people to tune in, probably not Monday night, right?
Yeah.
Second of all, you can't make jokes like this lowbrow type humor, right? Mm-hmm. Because, all right, if you're already watching the award show, it's not your casual fans watching.
Yeah.
It's idiots like us who have a podcast and love the sport.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Yeah.
And have too much time for it.
The part that was hilarious to me was how little... It was like pity laughs, you know what I mean? It wasn't even like, oh, these aren't... Like, oh, that was actual... I could see the humor
also,
in that.
It was hosted by Dirk Bentley. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah.
Country star in Nashville makes sense.
Yeah.
But then they made Dirk Bentley kid do a bunch of interviews.
Yeah.
Like, no fault to the kid. I'm sure he did his best.
Yeah.
But like, it was... If they did that bit once, fine. But he interviewed all 3 Hart candidates.
Mm-hmm. It's
like,
tough.
This kid who's giving scripted lines is interviewing Connor McDavid, who is a pucks in deep type interviewer.
Yes, yeah.
Most times.
Yeah.
Sometimes he gives a golden quote, which, sidetrack.
Yeah.
I love Connor McDavid interviews because most of the time he gives you pucks in deep crap. Mm-hmm. But then once in a while he says something legit and then everybody listens because he finally said something.
Yeah.
That's a smart man right there.
Yeah.
Coming back to the show. You could have used that bit once.
Yeah.
And have been, okay, that moment was cringy, but fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. But like, oh my God.
I feel for this kid at this point because the internet is ruthless and likes to make memes out of everything.
Yeah. This kid's going to get memed.
This kid is going to get torn up and he doesn't even realize it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God. I haven't, like, honestly, I haven't checked Instagram in a little bit, so I haven't seen the reactions to any of this, but I for the own sake, for my own belief in humanity, my own faith in humanity, I think I'm going to go ahead and ignore the reactions to this because, man, it was not good. So,
yeah, I mean, all I want from the NHL is just decent enough marketing, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think people make fun of the NHL? It's for crap like this. It's not because they're like, oh, nobody watches the game. No, nobody watches the games because you do crap like this on things that are marketed.
Yeah.
You know? Why, especially for the NHL award show, which, like I said, is for dedicated fans like us who have way too much time and love this sport.
Yes.
Why don't you just focus on making it a good show?
Yeah.
Or stop worrying about the casual fans.
Yeah, exactly. That I was literally about to say, stop pandering to all the casual fans and try to make a good quality product for the people that actually care. And maybe they'll, bring their friends. Honestly, word of mouth, I still think is king in terms of marketing.
Oh, absolutely.
And when you have just like lazy ass marketing, who's going to care? Who's going to pay attention?
The first episode of this podcast, we talked about why we watch the NHL.
Yeah.
Both of us had other people tell us about it. Mm-hmm. And that's the only reason we watched.
Yeah. We stuck around.
Yeah.
Despite all this
because
bullshit.
At its core, hockey is so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Right. And I fully believe that with my soul. I've never played hockey, but I enjoy watching it.
Yes.
But then they can't just sell this great thing.
Yeah.
Right. And like when I have friends who are NBA or NFL fans and they show me their things, even though I don't know anything about these sports, I enjoy watching it.
Yeah. Every time we start the show, I talk about, recent stories, game highlights, league culture. That's the dinger right there. League culture, there's basically none. And when there is, it's garbage like this. I'm like, how do people like us, even when you go to like any, like, you go to a comment section and ESPN posts something about hockey because they're allowed to now. Everyone just roasts hockey, the sport as a whole, and it's people defending it. I'm like, that's your marketing? That's what you're being known for? Yeah. I'm like, you're doing it to yourself, NHL. I really don't know what the solution is, to be totally honest. But
it's to stop pandering to casual fans at every turn.
Right, but that's easier said than done, is what I'm saying. Like, in terms of actual specific solutions, again, we're not working for the PR team, the NHL PR team or anything. But damn, like, this is bad.
You know what would have been better? It would have been better if you didn't have the NHL awards show.
Yeah.
And you just tweeted out the winners.
You think so?
Look at the quality of show they put on.
That is true. That was, you're right. At this point, I think I'd rather, I did look at tweets.
Yeah. All we cared about was the winners, right? And like, there were parts of the show that were good. It was in Nashville. They had a lot of country artists, a lot of country music, which was cool.
Yeah.
But I think they need to work a little bit on the pacings. Like, it was like 2 country songs between every award or something, which is like, okay, you got to keep the main thing kind of going.
Yeah.
And they didn't present every award. Like, I think,
they didn't?
Yeah, like some awards are done beforehand, right? Like the Art Ross and things like that.
I see. Okay.
But even though everybody knows that who won the Art Ross, who won the Rocket, I think it'd be nice to see it presented.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Just a formal, but like,
yeah. Like, you're saying it's not that hard, but like, we're spitballing ideas here. How about don't have Dirk Bentley Kid interviewing Hart Trophy winners?
Yeah.
First off.
Yeah.
You know, like, who thought this was a good idea?
Yeah. I mean, they must have like done a dress rehearsal of sorts, right? Or not dress or some sort of rehearsal. But like,
if they didn't, then maybe that's an improvement idea. Do a rehearsal.
Maybe, try test running this thing before you actually go with it live. Yeah. So.
And I think Dirk Bentley did a great job. Like, he was fine as a host.
Yeah.
Like the parts of the show that were award showy, like the hosting, the transitions, the highlight packages, those were all great.
Yeah.
But we need more of that and less of whatever Dirk Bentley Kid was doing.
And I'm all for like the humor and stuff, but like, I mean, I don't know if you watch NBA on TNT, but they have Shaq and Charles Barkley kind of just hitting off. There's so many cut up like highlight reels of them just like goofing around, and it's just hilarious. And that's why people tune in. It's genuinely funny just to watch by itself. This was try hard funny.
Yeah. To be fair, the TNT panel for the NHL this year was also pretty good. I think one of the highlights.
Why did they do that? Why didn't they host this?
They were there, but they did this weird thing. They had on the side of the stage, they had Paul Bissonnette, Elliot Friedman, and I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the third guy's name, but he's also on the NHL and TNT panel. And they were like, they had like a desk there, and they were like making jokes and things like that. But like, it felt weird because you had Dirk Bentley hosting, and then you were cutting to these guys. Like, it felt superfluous. Yeah. Like, Paul Bissonnette's great. I love watching Paul Bissonnette. Yeah. But you could have just used the desk to host the awards and not had Dirk Bentley, or you could have just used Dirk Bentley and it would have felt smoother. Yeah. You know? And at the end of the day, I do appreciate the NHL for trying, I think, ? Yeah. But damn, this was a fiasco. I don't know. If you want people to take your sport more seriously, you just got to look at it from different eyes and realize, like, damn, this is not it. Like, anyone who watches this who's not even into hockey, you can realize this is not a good show. If NBA reporters and television personalities dunk on your league continuously, maybe you should change something. Yeah. But so no, the NHL's like, no, we're great. It's you who don't understand us. Yeah. Like, come on. I was like, we love this game. We love the sport, as you said. Even if we know it was bad. Yeah. So, yeah, come on, man. It's time to back it up. Not pack it up, but like do better. Yeah. So, summary of this week. Great contracts. Yes. People are following the golden strategy. Yes. And fix your award show. Yes. Summary of the week. All right. And on that note, that's a good way to end it. You got anything else, or we did here? Not too much. I think next week's going to be a big week. Today's Thursday, June 29th, and July 1st is right around the corner. Next time we do a podcast, there's going to be
hopefully some players moving places. So
Let me ask you this.
yeah.
By the time we do a next podcast, is Erik Karlsson still a Shark?
Yes.
Oh, no hope.
Yeah. Yes. That's just because. So I read this article today.
Yeah.
Mike Greer, he's like, he just won a Norris. We understand he wants to be traded. We want to trade him to a contender too, but he just won a Norris. We're not going to retain any of that salary. I'm like, yeah, that's why he's not traded.
Yeah. 11.5, a little too high.
Yeah. I was like, just bite the ego off. It's 4 years, man. We're not going to win a cup in 4 years anyways. So just, this is the best chance to trade him. Get some big packages back.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
So I'm going to remain hopeful that they do trade him.
I am too, but it's not going to happen by next podcast, I don't think.
All right. I guess we will see on the next show.
Yep.
This is Glass Seats. We're out every week. You can listen to us on Apple, Google, Spotify, and we're also on YouTube at Spud Network Podcast is the handle. If you can go on any of those platforms wherever you listen, leave us a rating or review or a comment. Really helps us out. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Peace.